Hello there and welcome to World of Tanks with Ungainly Titan. So we're here on the south coast and I'm in the Tier 10 British tank destroyer, the FE-215B 183, also known as the Deathstar. Initially I'm not sure where to go because the Deathstar has a very long reload, while the gun is very powerful and can one-shot kill a tank from full health if it penetrates. Quite a lot of tier 10 tanks have spaced armor, so it can be quite difficult to penetrate unless you hit a weak spot, and the accuracy and gun handling isn't all that great, and I'm not terribly accurate with it. Now the options with the Deathstar really are to find a spot where you can use the lethality of the gun at range, rely on splash damage, do 600-700 points of damage per shot, with the occasional hit that'll hit the weak spot and penetrate and absolutely wipe a tank out, especially if you get flanking and side shots. Or you can accompany the heavy tanks. So I kind of go for this side of the map because you can get quite a few opportunities on the eastern side. It is, I think, one of the better areas to push, and quite a few of our tanks have gone that way. The other is to accompany the heavies and basically peek out behind them and try and kill stuff that they're trying to kill. At this point in time I'm kind of concerned because we have a reasonable amount of tanks going down the eastern side, but there's quite a lot of tanks remaining in the base, and there's quite a lot of tanks at the back in locations where they're actually not going to do a whole lot of good. We have a tank destroyer, we have a couple of heavy tanks. And we don't have much in the direction of the town or the water side. So I've decided to come down to this side to see if I can act as a deterrent at least to stuff pushing through straight up kind of the 4, 5, 6 line. So I see an enemy T-110 and I'm hoping to get a shot at it. He's not showing me much, and it's very unlikely at this range that I'm going to hit anything useful, but I think it's worth at least one speculative shot. Thing is, with the Deathstar you can't afford too many speculative shots because you only get about 12 rounds. So after firing I go into cover. Sixth sense has gone off, I've been detected and I don't want to hang around. It's a priority target and the reload's quite long, so I could be completely wiped out sitting there waiting for a reload. Now that I'm no longer detected I can come back to my position and see if another better opportunity arises. Now still we have two of our heavies in the base. One of them has moved up there and taken a shot, but the other one is behind me where he's absolutely no use to anybody and has just sent me a signal asking me to follow him. I don't really see the point. Back there he can't see anybody and cannot contribute to the defense of the base. Our artillery has also been wiped out, I think, by the enemy artillery, and we're losing more tanks than the enemy. So while I managed to get a decent hit on the IS-7, I don't really get a second one, and the tree has just fallen nearby. But the T-110 is moving up. Now I fired that shot too far forward. I'd been better off if I'd hit it further back. But I am detected and targeted, so it's better off to pull back out of the way while I wait for the reload. Now I'm not sure if that E100 where he's currently located can actually see anybody or fire at anybody either, unless maybe people parked along the ridge lines right at the very back. But at this stage most of the enemy tanks have vacated those locations and are pushing forward onto our base or up through the town. So I'm going to relocate. I'm not going to go back to the same position again. I think at this stage people are waiting for me to pop out. I was hoping to get a shot of that E75, which would be a very valuable kill. And the push down the eastern side of the map's in trouble at this point as well. It's only 2 tanks remaining of the initial 3 or 4 or 5 probably that did it originally. And there's only 2 left, and I think they're under a crossfire in that location from both the centre of the map. Now we get a nice hit here. Don't quite manage to finish him off. We remove most of his health points and he gets finished off shortly afterwards. And again we pull back to reload. Now there's still enemy tanks pushing towards the this side of the base, so I'm going to pull back into a position where I can intercept them, hopefully without being spotted, and coming under fire from anybody on the ridgeline. And the numerical situation is very much against us at this point as well. So I missed the snapshot there on the Object 268. And again I change location and pull back for the reload. Now he comes up again. I don't think he realizes I'm here. And he actually presents his flank to me, which makes things very easy. So we get rid of him. Now I'm beginning to get worried about the eastern side of the base area. That E75 was crossing the map, and there were other tanks at the bottom of the road when the mediums are still alive, down on the eastern side. Now an E75 is detected. So I pull up to see if I can get a shot on him, but the gun depression on the Deathstar isn't up to the job. I don't think I'd have gotten him in any tank without exposing the whole tank, but while I've been up there, Brazil Bulldog has been sneaking up, playing peekaboo and spotting for artillery, so we get rid of him, and I've taken a clip across the back of the turret from, or the tracks or somewhere, from that IS-7. He didn't do a huge amount of damage, but I can do nothing about him until he reloads, and shooting with the turret will be a formidable challenge. He fires at me again and doesn't do any damage. And now that he reckons I'm reloaded, he backs completely away. If I go after him, I'm risking having the E75 come up behind me. I don't know what it's doing. So I decide now that the contact's been broken and Sixth Sense is no longer active to go after the E75. If I can get rid of him, I can then deal with the IS-7 more easily, and there the E75 pops up. And we one shot kill him, and then I drive south while Sixth Sense is running. I only turn when I'm no longer spotted, and head back up in the direction that we last saw the IS-7. Now the IS-7 has been spotted, it's advancing on me, and I initially hadn't completely reloaded. Now he missed his shot, but I got him at point blank range, and I head straight back up to the base area. I had a very close call here with artillery, but I repair my tracks. I don't want to risk being still here when that artillery fires again. Or any of his companions, the 2 tank destroyers that remain. Now when I came back up into the base at this point, I wasn't too sure where to go. I was thinking of going after that other tank destroyer. And initially that was the course of action I had set myself on. Now the mouse has come back from the coastal edge where it had fought off the enemy advance on that side, and it is also heading for the centre.
Focus on this
But
location.
we both get worried about possibility of pursuit because there were tanks in the town. Now I went to the corner here. Initially I was thinking of just sitting at the corner. I was initially thinking of just sitting here and seeing if I could nail anyone who came around the corner. But then the mouse decides to go for the corner, and at this point I didn't check the minimap and I didn't realise that the T110 E4 and our team was making a run around the eastern side of the base. I think if I had realised that, I wouldn't have gone down with the mouse, and I might have had a different result in this game. I think coming down here with the mouse was actually a mistake on my part. At this point I thought if the two of us went around the corner together, we could take the Waffenträger OV-100. One of us would take a hit, one of us would probably die, but if I got a shot off at all, I think I'd have finished him. However, the artillery detracked me and removed half of my remaining health. That kind of changed the game for me. At this point it was very unlikely I'd get around the corner and achieve anything useful, and then the enemy T110 is up here behind us. Now we're in serious trouble because the mouse and myself are both blocked. Now the best thing we could have done was both dug in and tried to hold our respective corners. But I think the mouse makes an attempt to take out the Waffenträger. Or the Waffenträger successfully baits a shot from the mouse and then uses the mouse's reload, which is relatively slow, to finish off the mouse. The fact that the Waffenträger has a 6-shot clip, which does, I don't know, 500 or 600 points of damage per shot, would be more than enough to allow it to finish off the mouse before it got its reload in. So now I'm completely screwed. I have Waffenträger OV-100 with probably 3 or 4 rounds in the clip, and I have a T110, and I have the artillery, and it's the artillery that actually nails me. So now it's just down to our own T110, and he starts out well enough. He comes back up into the base area, he finishes off the enemy T110, but he doesn't back up quite far enough here. Another couple of meters and he wouldn't have been detracted by the artillery. That was probably at the very edge of the artillery splash range. However, it held him up long enough for the Waffenträger OV-100 to get him before he managed to complete his reload, and we lose the game. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider giving it a like. As you can see, I got over 7,500 points of damage, first class mastery and high caliber. And 4 kills, I suppose. So yeah, so thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.